Okay, so we're going to talk about types of surfing breaks. What is a surf break? A break, that's the name we give to a place that we surf. So we could have the word beach break. And that's normally going to be a wave breaking on sand. Beach break. You have a reef break. Now a reef, it's going to be made of rocks, could be volcanic, could be coral, that's a reef. Point break. Point break is not just a kind of strange movie that's been made or remade. It is a type of wave that breaks around a physical, geographical configuration, a point of land. Now that could be sand, it could be rocks, it can even be kind of like coral, but that's a point break. Point break, reef break, beach break. So first of all, let's look at beach breaks and how they work. And I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to ask a question of you. And I'll kind of say what your answer is because you're not mic'd up, but I'll ask you. You may not get it right, you may not. You know, Luca, doesn't matter. But I'm going to draw a big beach here. Here's a big beach, long beach. And along that beach, I'm on the land here, is a sandbank. We learned what a sandbank is. It's an area of sand. The beach is not flat. It goes slightly up, slightly down. Even if you look at a flat beach, it's probably not completely flat. And this beach has got a long sandbank. And that sandbank is about 300, 400 meters long. And here it is. There's the high part of it there. Deeper water kind of either side of it. In comes our wave. In this day, it's a long line of wave coming in directly straight at this sandbank. Tell me, and this is a difficult question, how does the wave break when it hits the sandbank? Now we know the wave feels the sandbank and goes forwards. But how do you think it breaks? What would be one of the things that a long, flat sandbank like that would make the wave do? Do you know? No? You don't know? Okay. What it'll do is make the wave what we call close out. Here's our energy coming in. It feels this flat bank and it breaks all in one line. And it's called a closeout. Now you'll see many closeouts on beaches. And you know, if you're learning and you're in the white water, it doesn't really matter if it's a closeout or not. But as soon as you start to ride the unbroken wave, it matters a lot. Because what's going to happen when the surfer takes off on their wave, they can go down it and then across a little bit, but the ride's over. In fact, it's strange. I would coach even good surfers sometimes. I used to do drills on closeouts. So all they had to remember was that takeoff, do one, boom, big maneuver, but the ride is over. Takeoff, boom, one maneuver, takeoff. So they knew what was going to happen. But this is not what we want to surf on. Okay, you're learning to drop down an unbroken wave. Fine, it's a closeout. Okay, you could learn on that closeout. But in the end, we want to ride across what we're going to call, I'm going to use the word peeling wave. A peeling wave is the wave where you've got the white water coming over here, and each side of it you can ride across the wave. What we see of surfing. Surfing, eventually we want to ride across a peeling wave. Okay. There are two parts of this sandbank where if the wave came in and now the wave is here just about to kind of break, where it will start to bend around the sandbank. Here I might get a wave I could ride across. Here it's bending away here a little bit. I might get a wave I can ride across. Okay. Waves bend. If I went with my hand there, sound just bent round my hand. It's called in physics refraction. So waves bend around objects, they refract. All waves do. Sound waves, radio waves, whatever, they bend. So let's have a look at the ideal sandbank. I'm going to put a beach here now. Here, I've got a triangular sandbank. It could be an equilateral triangle, or let's draw an isosceles triangle. There's my high part of sand. In come my waves. My wave comes in, it feels the sandbank, and it bends down it. Refraction helps the wave bend. The white water goes over this area here. The surfer can ride away from the white water. There's our white water, there's our white water, there it is there. And our surfer is riding across our unbroken wave. Okay. Perfect triangular peak sandbank. Maybe this one here. I always ask the question when my classes, which is the longest wave? The left or the right? Because now we've got to think about this. A surfer riding that way is going left. A surfer going this way is going right. We call our wave direction from surfer to beach. So you might see that surfer flying across that way towards that left-hand side, but actually they're on a right. Okay? So, I always ask the class, which is the longest wave? Well, after a little while you work out it's going to be the left, because it gives the wave as it comes in more chance to fract and bend. The right might be very short, but a short wave is not always a bad wave. You think of Chopu, you think of Pipeline. I mean, they're two of the most famous waves in the world, just incredible kind of barreling waves, but they're not that long, you know? And I know some very long waves which are incredibly boring, and after a couple of rides, you're okay, I'm still going on this long, long wave. Nothing much is happening. So, short doesn't mean bad. Now, we can take this triangular shape, and we can take it, and we can look at reef breaks and point breaks. Now, I'm going to draw a bit of land here. This land is very similar to what we've got here at a place called La Santa. Now, I'm on the land here. Here's a village. Here's a kind of big hotel complex here. And suddenly we've got to think of the compass. Now, waves come from different areas of the ocean. For instance, in Hawaii, in the winter, waves come from the north, from the Aleutian Ocean, so the swell is north. In the summertime, they come from the South Pacific, and Town and Honolulu get waves. It's the same here. We get waves from the north, from low pressures above the Canaries, coming from between Newfoundland and Greenland. We get waves coming from west. They can be generated sometimes like of hurricanes coming off the eastern seaboard, United States, they can come across. In Sri Lanka, we're normally getting waves coming from the southern Indian Ocean. They're coming up, you know. So waves will come from different directions. So we need to know, for every surf spot we ride, what is the best swell direction. So we're going to draw a compass in here. Okay? I'm going to put a compass here. Here's north, west, west, east, north, south, north. Now we know no waves are coming from east. Let's get that one out of the way. There's nothing coming from east. This wave here, okay? Perfect triangular wave. The best direction for that to come in perfectly, to hit this here, so that it'll absolutely bend, refract, that word again, down both sides of the reef, would be west. You can see it there, west. In fact, this particular reef is better if it has a slight direction of swell, comes in there, because then the wave kind of bends away on this side here. On the left-hand side, it bends away a little bit more, creating this huge tube, and that would be southwest. Okay, in here is another reef. And this reef, which would be the longest wave? We saw that before. It would be the left. In fact, it's called the left. The right, very short, but still a good wave. Okay, same kind of direction. West. But what would happen if I started to get waves from northwest? From northwest, our waves come in that way, making this absolutely unrideable. A closeout. Remember our closeout from before? Okay, when that's happening, this could happen. Here's a northwest swell coming in, and now it hits this point of rocks, and it bends. It refracts around. Reef break, reef break, reef break, point break. Point breaks are some of the waves that have influenced our surfing tremendously. They give us a long time on our feet. They give us a long time riding. They help us with surfboard design. Great point breaks, famous ones that have developed surfing. Kira, the Superbank now. Basically, they're sandbank point breaks. Rincon in California. Malibu in California. Jeffreys Bay. South Africa, this incredible point. Longest wave in the world is at Point. Chinchamacha. South America. Huge, huge long point break. So, why is a point break so good? Because you're on your feet for a long time. Maybe we've got a bunch of surfers out here and they're all the best surfers and they're catching all the biggest waves, but it doesn't mean they catch everything, and some they miss and some they go past, and here's a whole bunch of other surfers getting other waves. Yeah? You've got an easy entry. Most of these waves here will have a rip one side. Remember that I was talking about rips, a rip at the other side. There's a current here that'll help you. Okay, so here I jump in, paddle all the way around, get my wave back in, go round again, back in, go round again. So point breaks are extremely influential in our surfing. But you could have a point that is not particularly good wave, and next to it a fantastic reef break. There's a funny little wave in here. There's another wave in here which the people can ride on the longboards. And what happens then, on a very, very strong north swell, it actually misses here. Here's the north and it goes that way, but it actually will catch the inside bit here. So you'll have lots of different directions for our reef breaks. Now this is the thing I wanted to say at the start of this. Don't think, which do you think it's safer to surf over, rocks or sand? And most people will say, well, it's sand. When I'm learning, for sure it's sand. Some of the most dangerous waves on this planet are over sand. Puerto Escondido. I spent a long time riding super tubes in Portugal. Scary, shallow. You're going to hit that bottom, you may as well hit rocks, it's so heavy. And you've got some lovely deep reefs. This thing in here, it's easy. It might be rock, but you never hit it. So be really, really careful that you think, oh, well, I'll only ever surf over sand. And we take more risks sometimes in sand than we do over rocks. You know? So, you will find many reef breaks which are easy and safe for you to ride. Okay, you've got to find out where you get in and where you get out. You watch the surfers. You don't go there on your own. You're going with a buddy, and it'd be great to have a buddy who'd surfed there before. Getting quite popular now is this guiding to reef breaks, but be very careful that you're not commercially using up a surf spot which local people have spent many years surfing, and next minute you're trying to learn in it. Be very respectful. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you see, you say your way in, your way out. That's really important, you know that. Okay, you're on this point break here, or you're on this reef break here, you wipe out. You're going to paddle straight back out? No. You go round. Stay away from the other surfers riding. It's a huge thing. So many surfers, they're learning to ride these type of waves. They wipe out and they go straight there in everybody's way. So what we've got to do is learn the rules. Get away from the surfers riding in. When you first go to reef breaks, the wonderful thing about them is that wave breaks in one certain position. So it's so easy to think, oh, I'll go and sit right where all the others are. Hang on, there's a little bit of an order sometimes. Be respectful. I mean, even if you're a better surfer than the other people who are riding it, sit out. Just wait. Let them get their waves, you know. Have a chat with them or whatever. Slowly take the leftovers. And then, you know, you might find suddenly you're sitting there and the great waves coming to you. You're not going to hassle anybody and off you go. Reef breaks in particular, you've got to be respectful. And point breaks, all kind of these breaks, respectful of other people. Okay. All the normal things apply. Head cover, control of your board, as we just said, the respect for other people. And do look for these fun, easy reef and point breaks that you can expand your surfing on, okay? Don't always think that beach break is the safest thing you can surf, you know? And any information you ever want about places you go in, you know what you do. You contact us at the surf school, at Surf School Lanzarote, Surf School Sri Lanka. You contact us and we'll give you advice on the places you're going to go, worldwide. Doesn't matter. Okay, thank you.